Hi, and welcome to the CodeHS session on grading and giving feedback on the CodeHS platform. My name is Leah Sloan, and I am the Director of Professional Development here at CodeHS. And I'm also joined by Sarah Jennis, and she's one of our Customer Success Managers, and will be your host today. So our agenda for this session is we're going to look at tips for grading and giving feedback on the CodeHS platform. We are also going to take a dive into some of the resources that are available to teachers now for virtual teaching. And then Sarah will give us a demo on grading and giving feedback on the platform. So just to kick it off, we're going to talk about some tips for grading and giving feedback. And some of the things that we have culled over time in terms of talking with teachers and other CodeHS team members is it's really important to provide frequent feedback and allow students to resubmit their work when they need to. Also, review student code regularly to find any kind of trends you see in the way that they're coding and the way that they're submitting assignments. This allows you to identify misconceptions and provide really targeted teaching whenever you need to. You want to also reinforce expectations around good styling while grading. So look for things like comments, indentation, and how functions are named. Using FastGrade is a great way to see your students' code and the solution code side by side. Using the gradebook to get a bird's eye view of class progress is very helpful as well. And you can see which students are ahead and which are behind and might need some more supports. Be sure to also check in with students that are falling behind or not making as much progress when you're looking at the gradebook. And then you should sometimes spot check student code that's, even though it's been auto-graded, just to make sure that it looks the way that you want it to look as a teacher. And probably an obvious don't for most teachers is just make sure that even if you set a lot of things to be auto-graded, you also still want to look at student work on individual assignments. So don't set everything to be auto-graded and just be sure to keep up on looking at student work at different touch points. So what are the kinds of things you want to look for when you're grading? Well, there are really two components when you're looking at code. First, functionality. Does the program actually work, and does it do what it should do, and does it solve the requirements of the exercise description? And the second component you want to look at is style. Did the student solve the problem in a good and efficient way? Is the program easy to follow and read? Are functions and variable names descriptive? Has the program been commented accurately? And is the program broken down into the right level of granularity in terms of functions and any nested loops and things like that? So we also wanted to provide some resources for teachers during this time. We have a virtual learning guide that we've put together, and we're going to take a peek at that right now. So this virtual learning guide is actually on the knowledge base for CodeHS. And if you're not aware of this, you can activate CodeHS Pro for free right now using this direct link. And any teacher can have CodeHS for free through June 30th of this year, 2020. And we also have a lot of resources within that guide that really can be very helpful in terms of helping with virtual learning. So it's a nice thing to take a peek at when you need some extra help. We also are hosting a lot of virtual events. We have teacher meetups and webinars happening at least a couple of times a week that can be helpful as you're teaching in a virtual setting currently. So be sure to check those out. This particular link gives just the webinars that are coming up. So these are a little separate and different from meetups that we've been doing, but it's just another virtual support that we're giving for teachers. The knowledge base is a great place for resources and just searching for different topics that you need to know more about and get more detail on. So you can just use the search for articles there and look for different types of resources based on the topic you're interested in. Also, if you're teaching any of the AP courses, College Board has a page that they're giving updates on every few days for AP Computer Science A and AP Computer Science Principles, and how the exam formats are changing, how dates have been pushed back. and so forth. So this is a great page to keep up to date with in terms of College Board and the AP exams. We also have a very active Facebook page where teachers and CodeHS team members chime in with questions and ideas and supports all around using CodeHS and teaching computer science. We also have the CodeHS forum where you can sort by different categories and courses. You can also see ideas from different teachers who are teaching the same courses that you are. We also have some rubrics that we can share with you. This is an example for one for the web design course and web development course. And then we have also a general project rubric that you can use on any generic project within any of the courses on CodeHS. I'm going to turn it over to Sarah now, and she's going to walk through a demo of the site.
Thanks. Whenever you log into CodeHS, you'll see your sections page. You'll want to click into whichever section you're interested in grading. That will bring you to your roster page. This page will show you all of the students that are enrolled in your class, and it will also give you a bird's eye view of how each student is doing and how they've been progressing through the course. So as you can see, some of my students are much farther along in the course than others. So this might be a time where I would reach out to students and make sure that they're doing okay, and maybe even pair students who might be struggling with others who are doing really well. The next place you'll want to go is in your course settings under grading settings. There are two ways that you can grade assignments on CodeHS. The first is an assignment can be teacher graded. That means that you as the teacher are going to go in and manually grade the assignment. The second option is for an assignment to be automatically graded. That means that our auto graders will grade the assignment. So if the assignment passes all of the test cases, it will automatically be assigned full credit into the gradebook. We have defaults that these are set to, so some of them are automatically set to auto graded. You can always change them to teacher graded. And in the same way, if you have something that is teacher graded, you can change that to auto graded. The only thing you'll want to look out for is some of our exercises do not have auto graders, so you'll see a little button here that tells you, and you should keep that as teacher graded. The next page you'll want to go to is your review page. This page will populate all questions that your students have asked in their code editor. I'll show you how to see these in the code editor later on. This page will also populate all of the exercises that you've chosen to make teacher graded. So you have a couple options here too. We have grade mode and we have fast grade. Both are great options to grading your students' work. The first I'll show you is grade mode. Grade mode will bring you directly into one of your students' code editors. Here you can run their code, you can check their code's test cases, look at what the assignment was, and you can grade it. If you want to reference the solution, you can look in the More tab, where you'll see Solution. You can also look in the More tab under Conversation to see if they've written anything and asked you any questions. If they have, you can answer your question here, and that will populate on their student homepage. Now back to actually grading. Here you'll see a few options. So if you notice that they have perfect code, you wouldn't have changed anything, you can award them full credit and that will go directly into their gradebook. If they haven't done anything and submitted it, you can directly give them a 0 and that will finalize in their gradebook. And below you have the option to choose your own grade out of the total. Once you choose a grade out of the total, let's say I gave it a 4 out of 6, you should provide feedback here. As we spoke about earlier, feedback should be based on the functionality and the style. So here, if I know that the student just learned about functions, I might mention something about adding functions to the code. If I want the student to be able to resubmit that code, I will mark that as needs work, and they'll see on their homepage that they need to resubmit that for you. If they've already done that, or you don't want to give them a second chance at completing it, you can mark that as finalized, and that will go directly into their gradebook. If you notice a trend among your students, you can also add a canned response. These canned responses will be saved so that you can use them as feedback for any of your students. Now I'll go back to the review page. The second option we were talking about is fast grade. Teachers really like fast grade because it's a very simple way of looking at the student's code compared to the solution code. So here I can tell automatically that they are the same. I can just award them full credit. Then the next student's code will populate. You have the option here to filter. You can filter by section or assignment name, and you can also order by students, oldest submissions or newest submissions. You still have the option here to run the code and look at what the description was. And here you'll notice that we have the same options as we had in grade mode. So now let's take a look at the gradebook. The gradebook is a great way to have a bird's eye view of how all of your students are doing. Here you'll notice that there are color coding on your gradebook. On the top left, it shows you what that key is. This gray color means that the student has not opened this activity yet. Yellow means they've opened it, they might have typed something in, but they haven't submitted it. Green means that they've submitted it and it's waiting to be graded by you as the teacher. This light pink color means that it has been reviewed by you and you marked it that it needs work. So now your student can go back in and resubmit it. Once they've resubmitted it, it will turn this dark pink color for submitted after review. And this turquoise color means that it's been finalized either by the auto grader or by you as the teacher. You can see in the gradebook that this turquoise color, wherever you see it, that means that the grade has been finalized. This light green color over here is something that we decided was going to be teacher graded. So now you need to go in and grade it. Another option in your gradebook is you can go into a specific assignment. So here I see that short stack is one of the assignments that I decided to teacher grade. So if I just click into this assignment, I can see all of my students who have submitted this assignment. It makes it really easy if you want to change a student's grade, if you accidentally gave them the incorrect grade and want to change its status. You can go to fast grade directly from here and it will only grade this assignment. You can also reset any student's code, give them full credit, or give them 0 from here.
So thank you for joining us today for this session on grading and giving feedback on CodeHS.